Africa, a continent teeming with life, diverse landscapes and ancient stories etched into its very soul. Among its many wonders lies Mali, a landlocked nation in West Africa. This is a land where the Sahara Desert, with its endless dunes, meets the life-giving waters of the Niger River. For centuries, this river has been Mali's lifeline, its artery of trade, and the cradle of its civilizations. Even before the rise of its famed empires, Mali was known for its riches. Gold, that most coveted of metals, flowed from its mines, attracting traders and travelers from distant lands. These early exchanges laid the foundation for a rich cultural tapestry, weaving together languages, traditions, and beliefs. Mali's destiny was forever changed by the fall of the Ghana Empire. From the ashes of this once mighty power, a new force would emerge, one that would etch its name in gold on the pages of history, the Mali Empire. Every empire needs its founding myth, a story whispered across generations, a tale that speaks of courage, destiny, and the birth of greatness. For the Mali Empire, that story revolves around Sundiata Keita, the Lion King. Sundiata's life reads like an epic poem. Born with a prophecy hanging over him, he overcame adversity and exile to unite the fragmented Malinke people. His victory at the Battle of Kirina in 1235 AD marked not just a military triumph, but the birth of a new era. Sundiata was not just a conqueror, he was a wise ruler. He established the Kurukan Fuga, a charter of rights considered by some scholars to be one of the earliest constitutions in the world. He reorganized trade, established a system of justice, and laid the groundwork for a golden age of prosperity. Under Sundiata and his successors, the Mali Empire flourished. Its wealth grew, fueled by the abundant gold and salt trade that crisscrossed its territory, but it was the reign of a later king that would truly propel Mali onto the world stage. The name Mansa Musa evokes images of unimaginable wealth and splendor. Grandson of Sundiata Keita, Musa's reign from 1312 to 1337 AD marked the zenith of the Mali Empire. He was a ruler of immense ambition, a devout Muslim, and a patron of the arts and sciences. Musa's most celebrated act was his legendary pilgrimage to Mecca in 1324 AD. This was no ordinary journey. The Mali Empire was at its peak, and Musa spared no expense in showcasing its wealth and splendor to the world. His caravan, stretching for miles, included thousands of soldiers, attendants, and slaves. They carried with them unimaginable riches, gold, ivory, spices, and fine silks. Musa's generosity was legendary. He distributed gold in such quantities that it reportedly depressed its value in Cairo for years to come. Musa's pilgrimage was a defining moment. It put Mali firmly on the map, not just as a land of gold, but as a center of Islamic learning and culture. News of his wealth and piety spread throughout the Mediterranean world, reaching the courts of Europe. On the sandy banks of the Niger River, a city rose to prominence that would become synonymous with scholarship, wisdom, and the pursuit of knowledge: Timbuktu. Under the Mali Empire, and later the Songhai, Timbuktu blossomed into a major center of Islamic learning. Scholars, poets, and thinkers from across the Islamic world flocked to Timbuktu, drawn by its reputation as a beacon of knowledge. They came to study in its renowned mosques and universities, immersing themselves in subjects like astronomy, mathematics, law, and literature. The libraries of Timbuktu were legendary, overflowing with manuscripts on a vast array of subjects. These ancient texts, some dating back centuries, were written in elegant Arabic script and contained knowledge accumulated over generations. Timbuktu's fame transcended geographical boundaries. It became a major stop on the trans-Saharan trade routes, connecting North Africa to the heart of the continent. This influx of traders, scholars, and pilgrims further enriched Timbuktu's cultural tapestry. Section 5. Shifting Sands. The Songhai Ascendancy. Even the mightiest empires faced decline. By the 15th century, internal strife and external pressure began to weaken the Mali Empire's grip on power. The once unified realm fragmented, paving the way for the rise of a new power in the region, the Songhai Empire. The Songhai, once vassals of the Mali Empire, seized their opportunity. Under the leadership of Sunni Ali, a shrewd military strategist, they expanded their territory, conquering Timbuktu in 1468 AD. Sunni Ali's successor, Askia Muhammad I, consolidated the empire's hold on power. he embraced Islam, made the pilgrimage to Mecca, and oversaw a period of economic prosperity and cultural flourishing. Under his reign, Timbuktu continued to thrive as a center of learning and trade. The Songhai Empire, though geographically larger than its predecessor, inherited the mantle of Mali. It controlled the vital trans-Saharan trade routes with gold, salt, slaves, and cola nuts flowing through its bustling cities. Section 6. The Moroccan Conquest. Cannons at the gates. The 16th century brought a new threat to the Songhai Empire, the ambitions of the Saadi dynasty of Morocco. Lured by the legendary wealth of the Songhai and envious of their control over trade, the Moroccans decided to conquer. In 1591 AD, a Moroccan army equipped with muskets and cannons, a technological advantage that proved decisive, marched across the Sahara Desert. The Songhai, relying on traditional weapons and tactics, were ill-prepared for this new form of warfare. The Battle of Tondabi marked a turning point. The Songhai Empire, once the dominant power in West Africa, crumbled under the weight of Moroccan firepower. While the Moroccans faced challenges in controlling this vast territory, the Songhai never fully recovered from this defeat. The Moroccan invasion had far-reaching consequences. It disrupted the trans-Saharan trade routes, leading to economic decline. It also marked the beginning of a long period of instability and fragmentation in the region. Section 7. Under the tricolor, French colonization. The 19th century brought a new wave of imperial ambition to Africa-European colonialism. France, eager to expand its overseas possessions and tap into Africa's resources, set its sights on the region that is now Mali. French military expeditions gradually advanced into the interior, facing resistance from various groups along the way. By the late 19th century, France had established control over most of present-day Mali, incorporating it into their colonial possession of French Sudan. French colonial rule had a profound impact on Malian society. It imposed new administrative structures, exploited local resources, and disrupted traditional ways of life. The French sought to assimilate the local population, promoting their language, culture, and values. Despite the hardships of colonial rule, a sense of Malian identity began to emerge. Educated elites, exposed to new ideas, began to question the legitimacy of foreign domination. The seeds of nationalism were sown. Section 8. A New Dawn. Independence and its challenges. The winds of change that swept across Africa in the mid-20th century reached Mali's shores. After World War II, France, weakened by the conflict, faced growing pressure to grant independence to its colonies. On September 22, 1960, Mali gained its hard-won independence. Modibo Keïta, a prominent figure in the independence movement, became the newly formed nation's first president. The early years of independence were marked by hope and optimism. Mali, like many newly independent African nations, sought to forge its own path, embracing socialist ideals and Pan-African unity. However, challenges were abundant. Poverty, drought, and political instability plagued the young nation. Coup d'état became a recurring theme in Malian politics, hindering economic development and social progress. Section 9. Mali today, between past glory and present struggles. Today, Mali stands at a crossroads. It is a nation grappling with the legacy of its past, the grandeur of its empires, the disruption of colonialism, and the challenges of building a stable and prosperous future. Mali faces numerous challenges. Poverty, food insecurity, and climate change pose significant threats. The rise of extremist groups in the north has further destabilized the country, leading to humanitarian crises and displacement. Despite these challenges, the spirit of the Malian people remains unbroken. They draw inspiration from their rich history, from the legacy of Mansa Musa's generosity to the scholars of Timbuktu. They continue to celebrate their diverse cultures through music, dance, and storytelling. Mali's future remains unwritten. It is a story that the Malian people themselves will write, drawing upon their resilience, their rich heritage, and their hopes for a brighter tomorrow.